Hopefully now you've started to build a better understanding of IO's vision and commitment to the region. Education and the nation's development go hand in hand. Education brings benefits like improving the economic and financial lifestyle of its citizens and determining the prospects of future generations. That's why this next partnership has been such a priority for our team here. So, Minister, how did this initiative come about?
For the last 5 years or so, I was serving as a Minister of Science and Technology, then as a Minister of Innovation and Technology before coming to the Minister of Education. So when I was a Minister of Science and Technology, we had this engagement with IOHK, and so it was my intention back then to bring new technologies, and of course it's also my responsibility to bring in new technologies, and one of the new technologies that I wanted to see in Ethiopia was a blockchain technology. With IOHK, we managed to conduct some trainings for girls, so that's how the whole idea came. So when I came to the Minister of Education, then I wanted to make use of the potential of blockchain technology within the education sector. So in Ethiopia and in Africa, in many countries, many people say that there is an issue of quality of education. We have to think of how quality can be improved. And one of the easiest way and one of the doable way of improving quality is basically technology. So as soon as I landed here in the Ministry of Education, I came up with a new idea called DTEST, Digital Technology for Education Sector Transformation. And this initiative is all about bringing technology to improve the quality of education. And when we say technology, whatever latest technology we have. So it's very practical to think of blockchain technology to improve quality of education here in Ethiopia and also in many developing countries as well. I came to know that IOHK opened the African office here in Ethiopia, here in Addis. And so when I see IOHK is also with Charles Atkinson, the founder of ADA, the Cardano cryptocurrency. So Cardano is one of the top 4 or 5 cryptocurrencies available in the world. So that means that doing blockchain with IOHK is like a dream coming true for me. I formally, as a Minister of Science and Technology, I formally requested IOHK and also Charles Atkinson to start doing something, if I'm not mistaken, 10 weeks training. And the first batch, I personally, as a Minister of Science and Technology, decided to make it the first batch all girls trainee. And 4 of those girls came from Uganda. So that is how we came across IOHK. When we go back to the history of how IOHK came about and the whole philosophy behind the formation of Cardano and the whole blockchain science, blockchain technology, in IOHK we see huge collaboration with universities and huge investment on research on blockchain technology by IOHK. So it means that it has an academic foundation, it has an academic partnership. So you cannot really get the level of understanding of somebody by simply providing a test twice a year or once in a year. One thing we decided is to have a digital ID for our students, especially focusing into the secondary school. So we started providing digital ID for all of our 12th grade students. But our plan in this blockchain technology is to provide a digital ID for close to 5 million students in the secondary school. So the issue is that once these students have digital ID, so we can uniquely identify those students. So once we are able to uniquely identify, then we have to have a system by which every performance of that students be captured online, live, so that we know how good that student is in terms of mathematics, in terms of physics, and so on. We need to capture the whole performance, engagement of that student with his subjects, with his teachers, with his peers, and so on and so on. So this can be done only with blockchain. Nothing, I don't think other technologies are able to really perform that level of analytics, that level of accuracy, and that level of privacy as well, and that level of security as well. So for that reason, blockchain is only a technology I imagine would address those concerns I have. And so the volume is that the first deployment is around 5 million. That is the scale of the project, but that's the first phase of deployment. But through time, maybe over the coming 5 years or so, we also want to extend or scale up into the mid-secondary school, grade 7 and grade 8, and to the lower primary schools as well. But within the coming 1 year, 2 years time, especially the first 1 year time, our plan is to deploy blockchain performance analytics, blockchain-based monitoring of intellect, knowledge. And I think blockchain deployment in education sector, this makes the biggest I ever come across, and this makes Ethiopia the biggest user of blockchain technology in the education sector. Here now in Ethiopia, we have more than 27 million students, and as I said, we have close to 5 million secondary school students and 700,000 teachers. With this technology, I would know all of my students, their strengths, their weakness, all of my teachers, their weakness, their strengths. Whether we like it or not, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. The fourth industrial revolution is digitalization. So digitalization means if you are not part of the digitalization, then you are left aside. You will not catch up with the progress of technology. So this is not only in the education sector, in every sector. So digitalization is a foundation of where we are now as fourth industrial revolution. So there is no way we would be able to do things, or we would be successful without making life digitalized. So we can see blockchain technology is engulfing whatever digital technology we are having. Financial technology is becoming very dominant user for blockchain technology. And now education sector coming in, health sector coming in, transportation sector coming in. So I don't see in the near future, I don't see any competing technology other than blockchain technology. That's why I decided to bring blockchain technology into the education sector. If blockchain technology is successful in financial sector, then surely it will be successful in all sectors for you.
So, some 5 million students onboarded onto the Cardano blockchain, and this is just the beginning in a nation committed to using blockchain to transform and digitalize its economy, from education to agriculture, manufacturing, and more. Now, at the heart of this is Atala Prism, a decentralized identity solution developed by Input Output for Cardano.